Are you looking for a solid all-around good gun that's good in nearly any situation you put it in? Well, in this video, I'll be sharing a loadout that is quite frankly a little overpowered as it invalidates some of the other weapons, but it's damn good. Here's a quick preview of what you can expect. I'm sure seeing the ACR was not a huge surprise to a lot of you guys, but why is this gun so good? There are many reasons. Just to show you how good my ACR build is, let's quickly take a look at another gun, and that is the MP7. The MP7 is known for just melting people's faces, and it does. The MP7 will kill in 350 milliseconds, which is very quick. However, my ACR build will kill in 370 milliseconds, just slightly slower than the MP7. However, it will kill in 370 milliseconds all the way up to 29 meters. Keep in mind, what you're watching right now, me shooting this target dummy, that's 25 meters. Add another 4 onto that, and you're still not hitting damage fall-off range, which is crazy. 29 meters is significantly farther than most of your gunfights will be, and most of your consequential gunfights for sure. So this time to kill is crazy at this range. This time to kill in general is just crazy fast. My ACR build kills faster up close than half of the SMGs in the game. The only two that can do faster are the Vector and the MP7, and just barely. And if you add any range to that, the ACR just dominates. The ACR is just super consistent. It has a great 5-shot kill range, and since it does 21 damage instead of 20, that means it will kill Libertads through their self-healing, so you have just enough damage to 5-shot them pretty much all the time, and Phantoms just add another shot for the most part, and you kill them. Super consistent. It feels great. There's a few other things that make the ACR feel a bit more consistent than other guns. One of those being the high rate of fire. It shoots very quickly, so your inaccuracy is not punished as much. And another thing people don't realize about the ACR compared to the AK-47 is that the AK-47 not only has a little bit more just standard recoil, the AK-47 has visual recoil that you cannot compensate for. You can be compensating for the recoil perfectly with the AK-47, and that sight is still going to bounce like crazy no matter what. The ACR does not have that. If you are compensating for the recoil with the ACR, it will just look and perform like a laser beam. There is no mandatory visual recoil that you have to endure. Now, some of you may say, like, oh, that doesn't really bother me with the AK. It might not bother you, but subconsciously it will make you play worse because you see less, and it's just not as clear of a sight. So that kind of stuff does matter. Maybe not a ton, but it does matter, and it's something you need to consider. Another thing that's crazy about the ACR is that it just kills faster than the AK-47. It kills faster than the AK-47 at close range and very, very far range. The only time the AK has an advantage is in mid-range, which is not super common. I mean, the ACR has a close range, a close range of 29 meters, which is far as fuck. So those mid-range fights are not really that consequential because you're not going to be in as much danger, and also you can play a cleaner and kind of supplement that weaker mid-range damage with your cleaner passive. So man, the ACR in my opinion just really outclasses the AK-47 in the vast majority of situations. So I don't know, I don't really think it should be like that, but in my opinion it is. And from a purely vibes perspective, the ACR just feels good to use. Maybe this is sound and animation. I'm sure part of it is that the recoil is pretty easy to compensate for. But a lot of that is probably the lack of visual recoil. It just, it's nice not having that sight bounce up and down. But something about this gun just feels right, and I'm sure many of you will agree. Now let's get into my ACR setup. Now, normally I am not a promoter of the rapid fire attachments. I usually don't think they're worth it. But the ACR is a different case because the ACR's baseline range is just phenomenal. You do not need the help of a chrome-lined barrel or a muzzle attachment or anything like that. The baseline stats are just great on this gun. And putting the rapid fire attachments on the ACR just puts it over the top. And it means that you will kill faster than half of the SMGs in the game up close. That's crazy. You're going to win trades up close with SMGs with an assault rifle that can kill them from 29 meters away. That's absolutely bonkers. Now, some of you are wondering, why not run the heavy barrel? That'll up your damage by 1 and make that mid-range a 5-shot kill. The problem with the heavy barrel is that it lowers your rate of fire, and it will make your ideal time to kill and your ideal ranges slower. That, in my opinion, is not worth it. You need to keep that super fast close range in parentheses because it's 29 meters. You want to keep that fast, and making that even faster with the rapid fire and muzzle is just crazy. And in my opinion, the mid-range for this gun is so far away that most of your mid-range fights, you can get away with that a little bit slower time to kill, that extra bullet, because you're so far away. You're more likely to be in a situation where you can duck behind cover if you don't have the advantage. Normally in this game, if you're shooting somebody from far away, you kind of have the drop on them. That's normally how it goes, just in my experience. And you really want to maintain that hyper fast time to kill in your ideal range. Next up, I use an optic. This is the case for the vast majority of the weapons I use in this game. Using an optic in XDefiant, in my opinion, is almost mandatory. It's so good with how fast-paced this game is. Anything that's going to let you acquire targets faster, especially in like multi-kill scenarios, is the thing to do. And finally, I use the super light front rail and the quick draw grip. In my opinion, this combination is going to give you the most ideal sprint out to ADS speed ratio. In my opinion, you want your sprint out time to be slightly slower than your ADS speed, because if you think about it, most of the time you're going to be aiming and then shooting. You're not going to be shooting and then aiming. And the vast majority of the time, if you see a guy, it's going to take you a little bit of time to aim down sight and get where you want to shoot and then shoot. So I'm of the opinion that having a sprint out time faster than your ADS is just useless most of the time. Maybe there's a time and a place for it with like the shotguns or like really crazy run and gun SMG builds. But in this instance, with the ACR, I don't think it's worth it. I think you can get away with being a little bit slower with the ACR and kind of play into your ideal ranges better. Now let's get into my secondary weapon setup. And most of you guys know I am a 1911 fanboy. If you are a cleaner main like myself, the 1911 has some fantastic cleaner math, with it being a 4-shot kill at pretty ideal ranges. Since you only need 4 extra damage for the 1911's 4-shot kill at mid-range, it's very quick. It's got a very snappy 4-shot kill. It's not like you need to shoot 4 times and then wait for a while to get that kill. It will actually help you get the kill faster in a lot of cases. So that's a fun little synergy there. But also, the 1911 is just a super solid sidearm. Very good at range. When you put the extended mag on there and you get 15 rounds to shoot, it's crazy. The 1911, in terms of raw damage per second, is tied at the highest. But more importantly, the 1911 has the highest damage per magazine. When you're in a multi-kill mag dump scenario where you fully mag dump your primary and then you mag dump your secondary, the 1911 has the most potential damage before it needs to reload. So I think that's pretty valuable. But it's a secondary weapon. You can really use whatever you want to. If you have something you like more, go for it. But that's my case for the 1911. I just like this gun. And for your device, it doesn't really matter. The ACR is so versatile that you can do any and everything with this gun. So feel free to run whatever device you find most appropriate. And for the faction, you can play about anything. Now, I personally am a filthy cleaner main, and playing a cleaner with the ACR will help you in that mid-range where the ACR sort of struggles. It will give you that 5-shot kill at a delay. It will not make your time to kill faster, but it will make it more consistent, where if you get 5 shots on target and they run around a corner, they will die. So it's going to help you out there. But the ACR is so versatile, and its ideal range is so far. You have that 5-shot kill range up to 29 meters, which is crazy far, that you can get away with anything. You can play any faction you want to and get away with it. This gun just really does it all, so feel free to play whatever. Now let's get into the gameplay section of the video. This clip's going to show you just how powerful the ACR can be. So we're going to get some close range kills here while we clear off this B flag. Going to get a nice little multi-kill here and here. And we're going to wait to heal up. Then we're going to start pushing the spawn. And we're going to get another close range kill on this guy through the doorway here. And then duck around the corner and preemptively pop the cleaner explosion. I knew those guys were going to push me. Preemptively pop that, get the double kill. Then we're going to round this corner here and get a triple spray mag dump. Swap to the 1911, clean them up with the 1911. One of my favorite clips of all time. This next clip is going to show off how good the ACR is when it comes to pushing the spawn. Now, naturally, when you push the spawn, it's going to be chaotic. You're going to have people shooting you from all different angles at all different ranges. Get a double detonate close range kill right there. Then come out the door, long range time. The ACR just thrives in this kind of environment where it's a little chaotic and you're not exactly sure what's going to happen. But you see right here, I mean, wow. Does this gun really just do it all? You do not have to worry about like, oh, I got to worry about people pushing me, or I have to worry about, this guy outgunning me at range. For the most part, you can just handle about anything the game throws at you. Unfortunately, I overstay my welcome right here. Catch a little too much heat, but luckily I take some people out with me. And for the final clip, we have some cyberbullying on Mayday. This is a great ACR map because you've got some long lines of sight, but this clip isn't even going to show that. This is just going to show me pushing up close with the ACR. I am straight up playing like I have a submachine gun, but I have an assault rifle. This kind of just goes to show you that this gun is so good that you don't even really need to play it within its defined role. Yeah, it just melts people, and it's got the range. Probably the best gun in the game in terms of like the versatility. MP7 is obviously good as well, but this thing just puts people down at range too. And I get a little greedy here. I'm gonna pay for it, but anyway, hope this video kind of showed you how good this gun can be with the right setup. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and join the Discord. It's free.